guitar. There we go.
Wow. Wow. Sorry, I'm going for the modules first here. All right.
Yeah.
So are these these modules are off the new molds, Boaz?
Yes,
I think there's
before polishing.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff you see, those lines and stuff, are not going to be on there, correct, Boaz?
What did you say?
I'm sorry, I must be too far away from
Yeah,
the
the
mic.
mic. You gotta get this mic here. Let me get you a little closer.
Yeah, I'll get here. So the lines and stuff that you see on the guitar and on the modules are things that are going to go away, right? But they're going
to go away once we polish them after the COVID-19 edition.
Yeah.
You're talking about these the mold lines that are in it?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't even mind that so much. It wouldn't bother me if they were on there. But I mean, some people.
Well, that's going to be limited, you know.
What? Oh, it'll be to have one without the or with the lines.
With.
That's the Strat. These are not the pickups that are going to be in the guitars when they come out. We just don't have the because Ken Armstrong has developed a line of Boaz specials.
Ooh, that neck is beefy.
Yeah, it's
weighty. Did you add weight to the end, or did you add weight?
No. It's the same weight, but it's different shape. Now it's a C shape.
I think your intention, Boaz, was not to make it like a standard neck. This is the neck that Boaz believes an electric guitar neck should be, and it's a little different. And to be honest, I didn't find it terrifically comfortable for the first 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, it's amazing.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different. What's with the fingerboard extension?
Good question. The fingerboard extension bolts on underneath. If you look underneath, once you take the pickup out, you'll be able to see it. No, that's not.
No. Once you take the pickup,
take out the pickup.
You can add it or take it out.
Okay.
So you unscrew on the back. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, so
now there is another body where you can do it without taking the body off, but this particular body, this is the body that everybody has ordered.
So does this just
there you go.
Clip there?
There you go.
Oh, okay, I see.
Now you can see it. So maybe I should. Can you see?
So there's a finger,
Yeah, there's an extension. And I don't know, you probably can't see the screws that are in there, but there are some screws in there. Yeah, there you go. And also the screws on the end are for the trem system, which nobody knows about yet.
For the what system?
Tremolo system.
Oh, well, then you're falling again.
We probably shouldn't talk about that at this point because it's a little early, but it's very cool. It's not like your standard tremolo system.
And then your the hex key,
which allows you to raise and lower. And also ultimately when you have the adjustable bridge, you'll be able to adjust the intonation. The guitar is set up for 009's moment. And if you have the standard Boaz bridge, that's what you're going to have to use, 009's. But then if you upgrade to the adjustable bridge, which allows you to adjust the intonation, the only difference is that you can adjust you can move each string saddle backwards and forwards on the other bridge.
Okay. You mean each of these goes this way?
Now, yeah, no. You can, how you would adjust the intonation by moving, moving the individual bridge backwards or forwards.
Yes,
away from the nut,
each saddle, moving
now,
this piece.
if you can adjust the height of the strings by just sticking that, in fact, if you want to do it, you can right now.
Yeah, you have a key, you have an Allen key in the back.
Yeah. And there you go.
All the way in.
Yeah.
And that's just how easy it is to adjust the height on the guitar.
So what's providing the ratcheting action? I guess it's ratcheting against this piece, the comb.
Good question.
Is it ratcheting against the comb? Is that what's?
What is ratcheting?
That's where it goes. Chit, chit, chit,
Chit,
chit.
chit, 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 chit.
Don't get
There is
technical.
on the bottom under the wheels there is three lines that are creating these clicks.
Okay, so those are part of the red piece on this bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
the red piece have the lines and the wheels have the notches to create the sound.
Have the notches, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So is all of this made of the same Delrin material as the?
No, no. What you have now, it's not the actual wheel. The actual wheel
It's going to be made out of a different material. Boaz discovered this material is too soft.
I don't know if you will be able to see the difference here on colors. Can you see the difference?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been abusing them, as you can see. And the new ones, they are enriched with fibers. So I really try hardly to damage the ones you have there, and I succeed. And therefore I changed the formula to, it's rich with fiberglass, this one.
Oh, okay.
So it's much stiffer. Yeah.
Is that to prevent wear also?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to prevent wear, and also the torque of the Allen key can damage them slightly.
Make sure you have it on.
Yeah, it's damaging.
And
this little part.
and with the new one, it will be hard to damage them.
So this one is not the one that this is more of a
Exactly, this one is not.
Okay, that was my concern, because when I saw that, and that was what I was getting at, is when I saw that little bit of damage around this hole, I thought, well, if that part's getting damaged, then how long before these the grooves start wearing out on it? What would have been my concern, but if you've addressed that already, then great. The neck is really heavy on this. That you didn't add any weight, or is that just all the tuners?
The concept of this electric guitar is to have a heavy neck and heavy whatever it's not the body, but the part that you're holding right now with your right hand. So
magnetic. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And yeah, we kind of discussed this the last time you were here too, about making the neck really rigid. On an electric guitar, it makes a lot of sense. Anybody who I think has played lap steel guitars will realize that, yeah, you get that sustain because it's just one big chunk of wood.
Correct.
The whole point is to not lose any energy in the strings. Correct.
Now, Brad, we have a jazz model, which it's slightly heavier.
Just the neck or the end? I lost your audio there for a second.
And it's designed to give to hold a thicker gauge strings.
Okay, I got
and
you.
And also, it's also filled with different materials. And at this point, we achieve a very good results on the jazz model. This guitar is to the guitar you're having in your hand. It's for 09, 010, 011. But for optimal action, I don't recommend to go higher.
So the comb that's on this one,
yes,
is
it black or red?
It's black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What about it?
Okay. I'm getting a hint of
Sitar.
disturbance. Yeah, it's got that sitar quality because of probably some microscopic imperfections in the saddle itself.
Try to niche it higher, like 2 steps. Try to niche it higher 2 steps. Maybe the action is too low.
Well, no, it's doing it on the open, so it's not the action.
Even though,
but
try to niche it 2 steps.
Drop it down. You've got it really high, the action there.
Well, he's saying to raise it. You're saying to lower it.
I think he's not.
No, raise it.
No, it was almost as high as it could be, but
Oh,
that's worse.
it's worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably the camel.
No, what it sounds like is, when you have a tiny burr on your saddle slot.
yes.
That's what it sounds. It sounds like there's just a tiny microscopic burr right there at the edge of the saddle slot, and almost as if the comb itself is not quite rigid enough. I mean, this is. I don't know. Is this your final comb material?
Yeah, this is the final comb material. It's just going to be in a different color.
Okay. That would be my only.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, can you hear
I
it?
can hear it.
Weird because
Yeah.
I haven't heard it up until now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I mean, you can hear that. It's got this, and honestly, I believe it is because.
Is it on the cone?
I think it's because there's just a tiny something or other there that's. I mean, it's a common problem on electrics.
Yeah, it's
anyway,
when the string is not
Still doing it. Yeah.
see, it's. Yeah, see this. Oh, it's the overhang of the comb.
Yeah.
That's doing it. I think if that were more rigid or a more rigid material, is there a way to make that brass or to cast it somehow that do the same piece but in brass or?
No, but we can add a dent that the string will lean on. Imagine a post made out of brass, just a tiny post, and the string sit on the post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know what's the problem. I need to.
Yeah, this is really strange
so
because
far.
I wasn't hearing that until today.
Yeah, I hear it.
That's something I get a lot, and you have to really file around on saddles to get rid of, because I do a lot of work on old Japanese guitars and stuff, from back in the day, and a lot of times the saddles weren't, they weren't quite machined right on all that stuff, and that's what it's like. It's like there's a little tiny burr or something there, or this isn't rigid enough. And if you're all about not wanting to lose energy,
yeah, that's definitely
you're losing energy right there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So if you press down on it, does it get? It's a little better, doesn't it?
It'll get better,
yeah,
because of the break, yeah. But it's not solving it entirely. No. I mean, you can hear it.
Yeah, it's all the way. Yeah, I think it's mostly just a setup problem. And I have a feeling that if I had a really sharp knife, I could probably take care of that right now.
So that's not something that could be possibly made of brass then, that the comb? Or
if it's made out of brass, it
or...
won't have the flexibility to go up and down.
You don't think the string pressure would be enough to flex it just enough to, I don't know. Have you tried it?
If I tried what? Make it out of brass?
Yes.
No. I have I have this bridge, you see? This is made out of brass.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. But it's still in research. It's not ready yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was
That's a little bit more complicated, but it's not for the soon future.
yeah, I understand.
However, it shows you that we're working on improvement. But to make that one, the only way I can see is putting a post at the very end of the comb, and then the string basically gonna sit on a metal post.
Yeah, that might be
Like a little thing that will slip over the end of the comb.
Exactly.
I think that would probably solve what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Sure. This is not the one that you were intending on giving me?
No, you're not getting that one. You're getting the first guitar that actually came out of a mold.
Okay.
Which is somewhat historical, I think.
And thank you, by the way, Boaz. You didn't have to do that. That's really kind.
Thank you, Brad.
I'll tell you the truth.
And by the way, it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Really good to see you. How you been?
Well, everything cool. Everything great. I'm working. I'm setting up the assembling line. I'm going to give you a tour soon.
Okay.
I have it in behind me, all the assembling line design and toolings.
Yeah, and I don't mean to. I'm not trying to, to be a pain or to.
Oh, I know.
Criticize. You know me.
Yeah.
The last time you were here,
Yeah.
I gave you so many suggestions and little things. I was like, well, I think you maybe could do that, or maybe you could do that. That's not a huge thing. It's just something I think you've already solved it. I think that comb that you just showed would certainly solve what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but this one is very expensive because it's metal mold's gonna be, and at this point it's machined, and there is still things to approve. It's not perfect yet, but I was assuming something like that can appear, and that's why I was thinking about the post that the string gonna be on it.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be a solution for this plastic comb, to have the little slips on the ends. Maybe
yes,
you could even probably just super glue them on.
No, I need to drill a hole, put the post in, and then create the V shape for the string right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's require a new mold, and I need to redesign the comb only, not the total bridge, but just the comb.
Yeah, but I'll say this for it: in its current state, this is more than worth. What I paid for to get my backer guitar. I mean, even just like this right now in the state that it's in, this is more than worth what I paid for this would be, I'd be happy, is what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Well, wait till you plug it in.
Well, let's plug it in.
You plug it in.
I've got a little amp here we can plug into.
That's a cool little amp.
This is my little homebrewed thing. This thing sounds great. It sounds awesome, Boaz.
So what do we say at this point? Always, Boaz, it's not a toy.
No, it's not a toy.
No.
It sounds great.
It's a really spanky.
I like those. I like sometimes those cutting tones that are just on the edge. Just almost annoying. You know, it just cuts through a mix. But yeah, that sounds great. You got brand new strings on this thing.
Brand new strings, yeah. Normally, those are just the regular, D'Addario, is it the XPs or whatever they call them? Lately I've been using the NYXLs. Okay, now what I want you to do is to put in that jazz module.
Okay.
Don't worry about playing jazz. We all understand it.
No.
I just want you to hear. This was an eye opener for me. This really was. I was just totally shocked. Oh, you undo the button. This one has the stand on it, by the way. We'll get to that though. Put this one on. And this is a Benedetto pickup that I've had sitting in my closet for about 20 years. It's one of the Seymour Duncans that he made for him. Right after Kent made them for him for years, and then Seymour took over. And I just did it because Boaz actually wants a jazz pickup, so I put it in there. But I was like blown away by this pickup. I think it's freaking amazing. jazz on it, and you know I can't play jazz, but I just left it on there for an hour or two, and I came back and I turned it up, and I cranked it up, and I just played on it, and it's an extraordinary little pickup. You can get that almost like a B.B. King style blues sound out of it. Okay, now there you go. That's sweet. I like that.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, you can definitely hear it.
It's like it's even worse now. I don't know if it's because I messed with the ratchet earlier.
I'll get a new one, put it on there. It'll probably be fine. Okay, now go from that and put the humbucker module in there now. I mean, because I think technically that's sort of a humbucker module, but it's. Then you get to the. There you go. Press the button. Isn't this fun?
It's definitely different. So before this clicked in, so why was that abandoned? Remind me? The click, because used to, it would just click on.
Because you can, we found out that accidentally you can open it with your belt buckle. And if something like that happened on stage, I could not let it go like that. So there is a click when you put it up, and then you lock it with the screw. There's double click there. You're right, it used to be a click, but it's open once with a buckle, and that's not, it's not secure enough.
Now we're peeling wallpaper. Oh yeah. Oh my.
Not for everybody.
Certainly for me.
it's that's a lot of
There's a sense of power that you get from
just laying into
Yeah.
something like that.
None of this is your amazing amp. It's all the Boaz guitar. Honestly,
yeah, this is
are you making those? Do you build those for people?
No, this is a one-off. This is a one-off.
You should beg him right now, Boaz, to. This is the perfect amp for you. I'm assuming you can get clean tones out of it too, right?
I've heard Boaz. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard Boaz play. He's more of a. You're almost gypsy jazz. I would call your style almost Middle Eastern. You do a lot. It sounds like oud music to me, somewhat.
That's because it is.
Yeah.
It's played on an oud. Did the studs on the side for the fret markers? Did you even notice them while you were playing? Did you?
Not while I was playing.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people are worried that that's going to drive them crazy. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear us now? So you didn't even notice them while you were playing, did you?
Yeah.
No.
My thumb is way down here on most of the time.
Well, you did put your thumb around. That's why I was.
Yeah.
You do put your thumb around sometime. And honestly, when I first started playing it, it wasn't something that was wrong. It just felt different to me.
Right.
My thumb's around the guitar a lot. but after 10 or 15 minutes you don't notice it. Secondly, did you notice the fact that the fret markers in the fingerboard itself are actually how would you put that? They're scooped out.
Yeah.
Did you notice that while you were playing?
Now while I was playing, I didn't notice it beforehand.
Yeah.
But
when you're playing, you don't notice it at all. Yeah.
No, it's not something.
Yeah. And there's no way that your finger's going to slip in there. People have been a little worried about that. So I just want to reassure them. Okay, you ready?
I mean, really, honestly, and this is just my honest criticism. My only complaint is that, and it doesn't seem to do it as badly on any of the other strings except this high E string. Usually the high E is more susceptible to that anyway.
Yeah.
So you're limited to 9-gauge strings on it?
On this particular version of that bridge.
Okay.
But there are other bridges that are coming that are adjustable.
Okay.
We just don't have them right now. So for a short while, you'll only be able to use 9s.
And if somebody did go to 10s, they would just basically notice it. It would just be out of intonation slightly.
I noticed actually. I put 10s on it originally, and I did notice. But I'm hypercritical.
I voiced this amp for a Tele.
Yeah. Damn.
Cool.
No reverb.
No reverb, yeah, reverb in the room. And like I said, the only real complaint is just the way that's behaving right
Do you
now.
know what? I'm convinced now, I'm thinking about it, because if you feel this when it goes down, goes here, and then you press it down, it's probably pressing that string into there, but also it's been on an airplane, and I think it's probably not a good idea to press that. There's a lot of pressure on it anyway, and then you add in the pressure of that.
I don't know that it's that. I mean, you may.
Because it wasn't that way when I came. And all the other guitars we've had don't have that problem, so something's gone wrong with that.
Yeah. It's mainly just on that high E string.
Yeah.
And I will say the only other, I guess, complaint would be that, I have to screw this in every time I want to change.
There is another body, I just didn't bring that one.
If it just clicked the way the old one did, I do understand the locking and having to have a lock for sure. But that would be my only other complaint, is that the thumb you have to thumb screw it every single time you want to change, which kind of defeats the.
Yeah, there is a body that you can pop it straight out and pop it straight in.
Yes, sir.
Brad,
There you go.
you see that one?
Yeah.
The body is on, and you can take the model out.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the yeah.
See, I didn't want to bring that because that's not something that we have advertised before, and it's not something that people are going to get this time around. So that's an upgrade. So I didn't want to give people the wrong idea.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
but Gordon, we're offering on the COVID the COVID guitar will be with the body that you can bring the model out without taking the body off.
Are we going to do that one? That's not what we advertised originally. That's not
for the COVID.
Yeah, we advertised the body with just the small. But maybe we should do that. Should we make it?
Yeah, Brad, what do you think is better?
The one the one you have.
I agree. Yep.
Okay, we just made a decision.
Yeah.
This would be fine if you only played one module predominantly. It'd be fine. And if you weren't in a situation where you were going to change them on stage between sets or between songs, but having to do all of this, like even if you're taking a break, I mean, it's just one extra thing to think about. I think that's much easier, the body that you have there, for sure.
I agree.
And I totally understand the having to secure it. It's just that, if you're going to secure it, you at least would want all this stuff out of the way so you can do what you just did. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that is the option. We'll have that.
I'll be honest with you too. Can I see the other one again, Boaz? May I see it?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll show the camera here too. I'll be honest, I don't think, appearance-wise, I don't think there's much advantage to this one anyway.
It's exactly the same. Appearance, the outline is exactly the same, but this one, you can take the cassette out.
Right. Well, this one, you're missing a bit of plastic in here that's preventing this one from being able to do that. So, yeah, so how are you reaching? Can I see underneath how you're reaching in to press the button? How are you doing it there? Okay.
To press which button? Yeah, it's the same. You see, you put your finger and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I would want that. I would want that right there. Yep.
Me too. I prefer that one. But Gordon, for some reason, he had the feeling that you set up your pickups and you go. But this is much more fun to change. It's more practical.
That was, and to be honest with you, without the ability to do that, just letting both of you know, without the ability to do that, it kind of forgoes some of the advantages that we talked about initially when you came over, being able to just pull it out at will and, even if you had two different...
Brad, just so you know, this is a results, this one, after improving it from the last time we visit you. So this came after the campaign.
Yes, and that one is that one's better than the one that you brought, it looks like to me. Because
well, that's what he's holding is the same guitar you're holding from the same mold, except with a different body.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, because the one that you brought, we had to unplug. That one you don't even have to unplug.
You don't
The
have to
cable.
unplug, no.
Yes, I remember that, because that was one of the things too we talked about. Like if you didn't have to unplug it, like if you could just take the module out, take the module, turn it down, set it aside, and grab another module that's already plugged into a different amp, even, or plugged into an ABY switch on your pedal board. You've got ABY. You just or even you could you could have a switch just plugged into 3 different things, module, go to that channel, and then you've got a whole new set rig without taking your strap off. So
Correct.
to me, that's by far the way to go. Absolutely.
Yeah. But the only difference between this one and that one is that this one don't have legs.
I would get rid of the legs to have that.
Okay, so this will be the COVID-19.
That's okay. Yeah, we should definitely do that. No, the reason I didn't want to do it is because I didn't want to change stuff that we'd already told people we were going to give them.
Sure.
So, and this is something that has arrived in the last 6 to 8 months or so.
Well, just for the sake of, I'm not intending to speak for the people in my audience, but I think a lot of the people who saw my video and ordered it as a result of that. The thing that impressed me most was the changing of the modules. This right here, if you could do both, that would be great. But I would, if given a preference, I would ditch this and take that any day of the week. Absolutely. Because that's cool. That's cool, but it's not that cool to be able to.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't know how much I trust that.
No. Wait. You need to click it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
There it goes. Gotcha.
Yeah. Now,
There we go.
you can trust it.
That's cool. I'll give it that. If you could do both, that would be great. But given a preference, absolutely, I would just being able to take the module out, leave it plugged into a cord, go into an ABY switch, grab another module, and click it in without even taking your strap off. That's the draw for some people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, the whole point of the guitar is the options that you can have.
No.
Okay, tell me how to do this.
Just
Yeah. Now, no. Lift it where you click it. Lift it where you click it. Right there.
Okay, gotcha.
And the other side, yeah.
and press it in. It clicks in place.
I think it's clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm impressed by how far this has come, Boaz. I really am. I think you're right on the neck weight. Adding sustain for sure. You can hear on the, I think if this was just plastic, that most people think about plastic, you wouldn't be able to get the sustained, notes. So I think that's right.
Sorry.
So what is this? Does this extend from 22 to 24 fret?
Correct.
And were some people asking for that, or was that? Yeah.
No, it's an extra feature. It's an extra feature. You need to screw it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a modular guitar, but you can add stuff and.
I would never need more than 22 frets.
Really,
I I think some shredders.
I was gonna say if you're doing fan fretting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you could definitely, and it gets you that top note. You can hit that.
I think wasn't there a smaller body without this bottom horn?
Yes, there is.
Do you have that there, Boaz, by chance? The smaller body without the bottom
Like
horn?
the winger.
Yeah, I have it. No, I don't have it. I have it in the office. Why?
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is because, to reach that 24th fret, you would almost need all this gone anyway.
Yeah.
Right here.
But without that,
So
with the winger thing, you have.
I think for somebody who wants the 24 fret extension, who does the shredder thing and all that, you would definitely want the smaller body.
Look, Brad,
That.
if somebody, yeah, exactly. If somebody want to reach up to the 24, that's the body you should get.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
That's I definitely recommend that. So any of y'all who saw my videos about this, yeah, if you're doing the 24 fret thing and the shredder thing, get that body for sure. Even if you have to spend extra, that's what you want. But I mean, for doing just classic rock and up to the 22nd fret, and you know, old Guns N' Roses or AC/DC or whatever, you don't. Yeah, this is fine.
No.
But yeah, man, very cool.
Look, Brad.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one I saw.
That's will allow you easy access, even to play on the pickups.
Right. What's the
People will.
your Israeli friend who plays so great, shredder guy, just a really great player. What's his name?
The guy that did the
Which one?
Africa.
He did one of the early demo videos.
Kfir Ochayon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can check out his video. That gentleman there. I'll put a link or something. I'll find it and put a link. But yeah, he's playing that body, I believe, and yeah, he was really good.
Yeah. Oh, there's few of them. I don't know which one exactly.
Right.
So we should talk about where we're at, don't you think?
Yeah. So how far out are you?
Well, everybody's familiar with the supply chain problems that everybody's having at the moment. We are having them because we're low down on the totem pole. If we were Walmart or Costco or somebody, they're getting their stuff pretty much in. We're not. I think the earliest we're going to be able to have anything is by February, right? Boaz? I think what we're looking at, because of the supply chain problem, is that we're probably going to be seeing these guitars around about February. Does that sound correct to you, Boaz? We're told that everything's going to ease up considerably once Christmas is over. And there are a lot of ships going back to China right now with empty containers, which will come into play around about that time. The big problem is that there are no containers to put anything in. I've told this story before, but you know, when I was, I worked for a company, Nova, in Maryland for many, many years, and we used to bring a lot of stuff in from China. It would cost us $4,000 landed from Beijing to Maryland. That same container now costs, and I was going to say 24, but I talked with my friend who owns that company still. He's now paying $26,000 to land that same thing. And he's saying there's no profit in anything that he brings over from China. Whoops.
Definitely no profit in bringing your guitars.
Yeah, so there wouldn't be any profit.
Hey, it takes a licking, Boaz. We just tested it.
Yeah. And so we're looking. I think we can feel, you know, and please, people, don't hold us to this because a million things can happen between now and then. But we're thinking February. But Boaz has a solution for people that really want their guitar really quickly, because the guitars exist and he's putting them together. So tell them what you're suggesting, Boaz.
First, maybe I should show the assembling line here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. What we see here is the assembling line. I'm working for the last year or so. And basically this jig is a vacuum clamp. You see it's holding the guitar, and that's what creates the desired relief perfectly. Because as you know, this guitar does not need a setup.
Right.
It doesn't need an adjustment. The moment it leaves the facility, that's how it stays. So that's the jig that gives the desired relief to the fingerboard. What we see here is a jig that press the fingerboard, the neck to the fingerboard. Yeah, by the torque. It creates a lot of torque. And then we have this jig. Those are the final ones. You can see on top there all the experimental ones. I mean, I did not achieve it on the first shot. It was an evolution. And even here you see a jig that is attaching to create the marks exactly on the positions by drilling. Yeah. And it's loaded with, it's holding the neck with magnets. So only if I push here, see, you can take it out. Yeah,
Okay.
you could hear it. Yeah. So, and then they rest in this position on this ladder. What I do basically is designing a micro system that we can amplify it as we go and as we grow. Yeah. So we start like, I create a system on a small scale here, and all we need to do in the future is multiply it. The thing is that the glue we're using, they're all slow cure. So the guitars, I cannot tell you how many guitars I can make a day. I can tell you how many guitars I can make in 4 days, 5 days. So I cannot make 5 guitars a day, but I can make 25 guitars in 5 days. Yeah.
Right.
And here I
have now.
What?
With the jigs that you have now.
Yeah, with the jigs that I have now, exactly. And of course, I'm designing different molds for, as you see, clogs for, so the epoxy don't run out. This is the very final, but in my garbage can, I have all those trial and errors to get to this point. Yeah. So it took time to get to this point, but at this point, I can really, I start producing them. They exist. Here's two. Yeah, you see? Those guitars I built. The one you play, it's another one. Due to a low budget, I'm very careful on every step. But basically, the system is it's pretty much, I don't want to say the word complete, but I'm very satisfied. And we already start producing. Now,
are you able to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Boaz, but are you able to show me, just for future reference for anybody who wants to know how these were put together and what they look like before you attach the fretboards? Do you have any fretboards and cores detached from one another that you could show us?
Yeah, you can look here.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah, let me put it. Let me just arrange here a place so I can show you. Basically, just wibbling parts. You see, just the wibbling parts that have no. You see, everything is coming apart. Yeah. If I take that tape out, you can see that. See, it's all pieces that have no meaning. But once I assemble them, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt again. Can you remove for that one that you just got out there that's on the bench? Can you show me what it looks like with the fretboard removed? What does it look like on the inside of the neck?
That's it.
So the weight that I'm feeling on the neck that is here completed, there's nothing added for stability, or do you add a truss rod?
No, yes, of course. There's a lot of, you can see here part of the pieces. You can see here parts.
What is that metal part right there? The metal bit that you had?
It's a frame. This is still this is an old ones. The new ones, this is an old ones.
Okay.
The new ones are, I get them laser cut each time I need them because I'm improving and improving, but we got to the final. Those are leftovers. I just didn't want to get rid of them. I keep them for reference. Yeah.
So you don't have one of the new ones there. You've used them all in the guitar.
No, I don't. If I had the new ones, I would build the guitar, but I've been ordering few. I do it very carefully. Each step I do very carefully. There's no rush because still we have a few months till we get the first shipment. Yeah. But Brad, people need to know that because we have a system, if somebody willing to pay for air shipment from China to Israel and from Israel to United States, he can get the guitar in very soon. Very soon.
Yeah. I would be hopeful that people would understand some of the hiccups and the, you know, because you're bringing a brand new product to market that has many pieces, you know, and the molds had to be created and all this stuff. I haven't asked you a single question about mine. I mean, I paid for mine, you know, so this is not like I'm somebody who's getting a free guitar and you guys paid me to promote it or some shit. This is not that at all. I paid for my instrument. I'm waiting for it patiently. So, I mean, if there are people who are chomping at the bit, like you're saying, if they want to pay, the shipping to get it there, because right now the problem, if you haven't been paying attention to world events, you know, for the people watching this, you know, there's a shipping container shortage. And also we've got massive price inflation on top of that going on in the world. So there's all kinds of issues that these guys have been dealing with to try to bring this thing to market that were completely unforeseen, 24 months ago or
oh
you
my
know,
God.
I mean, just a completely different world that we're dealing with here.
For instance, most of any of the problems that we have, all the things that need to be changed up on the molds and stuff, normally Boaz would be there at the factory where they're making them.
Right.
And they would do it. And he would look at it and he'd go, okay, you need to change that. But now, because of COVID, every single change has had to be done, shipped to Boaz. Boaz looks at it, says yes or no. Then they fix that and then they send it to him. Stuff that would have taken maybe 2 weeks at the factory took 6 to 8 months, I would guess, something like that.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, the thing is, that's not surprising to me, and that's a valid, legitimate excuse for the setbacks that you guys have faced. I have, like I said, have I asked you one time, where's my guitar? I haven't asked you one time, and I paid just like everybody else. Yeah. So
lots of people have, though, Brad.
Oh, I'm sure they have, but
I totally understand that.
I do too.
Fact, I am amazed at how patient everybody's being. I'm not sure I would have been as patient as the way people are.
Well, I think the thing is, you know, for the people like me that realize what the obstacles that you guys are facing and bringing something like this to market for the first time, because nothing like this, I mean, only a couple times in history, a handful of times have people ever tried to do something modular like this. And usually it either doesn't make it to market at all, or it makes it very limited numbers and quantities and doesn't survive long. So it's, you know, you got to understand the obstacles that these guys, that Boaz and Gordon and the rest of these guys are facing to do this, you know. And I'm speaking directly to my audience and the people who have ordered because of the video that we made a couple years back. You know, it's a long process, Boaz. I am amazed at how far you've brought it. You know, like I said, you've brought me essentially what is, you know, almost like a final prototype, right? It's like a final prototype,
exactly,
more or less. Yeah. And for me to only have like one small complaint about the high E saddle, I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty darn good, you know. So, you know, I'm thrilled to get mine. And like you said, if somebody wants to rush ship it, about how much do you think it would cost if somebody wanted to rush ship?
Yeah, it would cost.
I know it's going to cost more than twice.
Yeah,
yeah. And that's not including handling, because I will have to go to take it out from custom. If somebody wants, it's possible, but he will have to pay at least 120, 140% more.
I think the point that we're trying to make here is that the guitars exist. They do exist.
Exactly.
And the other thing I want to impress on everybody, and this is absolutely true, and it would be easy for us to just fudge this, but this is the absolute truth. Neither Boaz, myself, or Gilad have taken any money out of this company.
Yeah.
All the money that's come in has gone into the development, and you know, we felt that we were honor bound to do that.
Sure.
So, and also if we'd
Yeah.
taken money out, we wouldn't have had enough money to do it.
You
So-
would, yeah, exactly.
Which is a practical.
Well, I think it's going to pay off. I think
hope
it's.
so.
I believe it will.
Mm.
I do. I think you'll sell enough of them after you get everything ramped up. How much do you have spent? If you don't mind me asking, I don't mean to ask. I don't want to pry too much, but just the few jigs that you have there, if you had to estimate, how much do you think that it costs?
Those jigs are not from the company money. This is from my own pocket.
Okay, right.
If I had to look, I show you the guitars. Wait a second.
Yeah, it was. People
Wait.
always ask me about the prototype, and because people wanted to buy it, and
You
I
see,
said,
Brad? You see those guitars?
Yes.
Those guitars in process. Some of them in process. Those guitars paying all those jigs and fixtures.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we it's not only that we did not touch the money, not even a penny. The money went only for molds, but we also putting our own pocket money for those jigs and fixtures
On top of what you raised for at the kit.
on top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm paying to be here.
Yeah.
exactly. And Gordon paying from his own pocket,
Yeah.
flying to Memphis and to Tennessee, and then coming to you. It's even the modules that he put. It's all from his own money. The money that we use, it's only for the molds and the parts.
Right. Well, here's the thing, I mean, for anybody, and I've seen some of the comments and I've seen some of the criticisms, and because I casually would check in from time to time on the Facebook group and stuff like that, to see what was going on and what you guys were up to. And I've kept up with the emails that Gordon sends out, and I know that there's been criticisms and people have been like, oh, you're never going to see your guitar. They've taken your money and run off and all this stuff. That's why I said, I've never even asked you one time, where's my guitar? Because I know this guy, because I shook his hand and I looked him in the eye, and I know Boaz. I know this man's heart. I know where he is. I think I'm a good judge of character. And this guy is not somebody who's going to take your money and run off. That's it. Period.
I think next time we would, though, wouldn't we, Boaz? It would have been so much easier.
Hookers and blow, man. Hookers and blow.
Exactly. we have our eye on a cottage in Phuket.
Yeah. That's funny. But now that Boaz, I mean, I like I said, I have never once questioned you. I know that you're going to get it done. You've shown me that you can get it done. And I just want to thank you, man, because, like Gordon said, a few days back when I talked to him, he said, our intention right now is to give you this guitar, which was the first production one, basically, that came out of the molds. Right. And I'm just really touched by that. You didn't have to do that, but that's really kind of you. And I will graciously accept it when the time comes. And I want to thank you for that. That's really nice.
Well, let me tell the story there. You see, because I wanted that guitar, Boaz wanted that guitar, and I'm pretty sure that Gillard would have liked to have it also. So it was probably the diplomatic thing to look for somebody else to do it. And also, we are in so much.
It's soft an argument.
We are so much in your debt. You wouldn't believe. You just amazing.
Correct. Yeah, your vision, and your positive attitude, and the point that you really believed in this project. It's a big deal. It's a big deal because, as you can see on comments, that people first, they say it's not possible, something that don't exist in my brain, not possible. And people criticizing and saying plastic will never sounds good. And I have a vision here. And people like you, it can make it happen. So we try to surround ourselves with people like you and not people that are having the opposite attitude.
We've had some interesting comments from some other people in the industry who have been basically vicious about what we were doing. And also a lot of people are not vicious, but they have severe doubts about it. And we've shown it to people who just don't get it.
Yeah.
And you got it. Like you
Oh
were,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
right there. So I appreciate that.
Here is a good example. I'm going to get this camera so people can see. I mean, this was the vision that I bought into right here. The fact that we have one case, there's one guitar case here, you know. So somebody who wanted to gig was say like an amp this small, okay, and then a guitar. They've got not just one guitar, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guitars in the same damn case. So one hand picks up your amp, and maybe you could shove, if you got something like this, you could shove some pedals in it.
Yeah.
And your other hand picks this up, and you're going to the gig. You're at the gig with 4 guitars. You know what I mean? That to me, that's
or the recording session.
Or a recording session. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we just proved that you get different sounds out of this instrument.
And the quality of the sound is definitely up to recording quality. I mean,
I agree.
It's as good as anything that's out there.
And this is the thing. I'm not just shilling for these dudes. I've given valid criticisms. The one criticism that I did give was just this little cone piece right here. There's a little bit of a twang on it, and it's just this. And Boaz already has one solution that is involves a different bridge, but he's also got another solution that involves just a little tiny piece of metal that can go on there if you have that problem. So, you know, Boaz is a problem solver. I believe in Boaz's vision, like he said, and I'm excited.
I only see problems to solve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think
always
put it in there.
What's that?
Pick holder.
Oh, in the pick, yeah.
That's Boaz's favorite part of the whole guitar.
It's the pick holder. Yes, that is cool though. And that is the cool thing about this is like for people who do different styles like I do, and you'll notice, you know, I do finger pick a lot. So people get on me about my fingernails all the time.
Yeah.
Why don't you cut your fingernails? Well, because I don't want to do that because I finger pick. And you saw me the whole time I was demoing it.
Yeah.
For the most part, I was finger picking. But for some rock and roll songs, you have to have a pick, and it would be it's nice to have that right there.
Well, you know, with me, if you watch me play electric, half the time I got the pick in my mouth because I use my fingers. I play a lot like Mark Knopfler plays with his fingers and thumb. Right. And then I'm doing this all the time. And this is so much better. And I mean, I don't need to do that.
Eddie Van Halen thought that that's what killed him.
That's what killed him.
He thinks that he thought before he died, he said, I think what did it, what gave me my mouth cancer was taking that metal pick that I used to use all the time and sticking it right there on that corner of my mouth, day in and day out, picking with it, sticking it right back in my mouth. And how many hours a day did Eddie Van Halen probably had a guitar in his hand all the time? Yeah. You know, and I believe it. And people were like, you know, you're not a physician, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, look, he knows his own body better than some people. He thinks that's what killed him. That might have saved his life.
It might save my life.
Boaz, you might have saved Eddie Van Halen if you'd have come out with this, you know, 5 years ago.
You said that you have in the case 4 guitars, but my idea is not the gimmick part of changing the pickups, is to find exactly the sound you like. And if it was up to me, I will glue the model, just will pour some epoxy on it and glue that stuff so it stays. So, because it's really 4 different guitars. It's not one guitar with 4 pickups, because each one sounds different. You put the Telecaster, we could hear a Telecaster. You put the Les Paul, we could hear a Les Paul. So my vision is that people, it's okay to play and switch, but the idea is that they find a sound they like, the sound that works for them, and they stay with it. Yeah. And if you don't find, this guitar give you the option to find. You know how difficult it is to find a guitar that you like technically, and then try to change the pickups. You need an engineer to do it. It takes time. You don't remember what you heard 3 days ago before they change it. So you have all those obstacles that now you just click, clack, till you go bingo. That's the sound I was looking for. And you can sell the pickups you bought before on the secondhand market.
Well, the beauty of it too is, you know, of having 4 guitars in one is that you don't even have to necessarily pay for a setup on this guitar at all. Cause like you said, it's set up to go from the factory. And if you want to raise and lower the action, all you have to do is just click that to raise the action and set it where you want it. And then not only is your main guitar, whatever that might be, set up and ready to go, but your 3 other guitars just got set up too, you know, like that. So that, you know, there are so many benefits to it, I can see. And I think that's what sold it, Boaz. I mean, you're giving me a lot of credit for like exposing people to it and stuff, which may be somewhat true, but it sold itself. I didn't have to jump in the way of that at all. You're the salesman here, and your brilliant ideas is what sold it. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's all you, man. It's all you. You've done a brilliant job.
Thank you. This is great to hear. And again, if you think it's the final stage, it is not. There is always room to improve. But at this point, we feel comfortable enough. And remember, you don't know, but Gordon is the worst criticizer ever. Every small thing is a picking, and I can hear his voice on the phone, Boaz, it's not it. But now it's a point that we're satisfied. But as people know me, I will improve it and improve it constantly.
We had that final conversation yesterday where I called you and I said, I think we've got it nailed. I really do.
Yeah.
And because usually I hear Boaz hears the tone in my voice. I go, you know, I call Boaz, I say, okay, Boaz, I have a problem here. And I was really worried about the intonation, but it turns out that I had the wrong gauge strings on it and all that stuff. And I lost 2 nights sleep because I thought we'd completely blown it. And then of course I took it to my guy, and he looked at it and he goes, no, the intonation's amazing on it. It's crazy. And he set it up and put the right strings on. And there was, I think something about the nut that moved slightly during reverse when it was, it was reversed. That's right. The nut was reversed.
Oh, it was like put on for a left-hander?
Yeah. Well, I think what happened is it fell off when the strings were being put on, and some idiot put the bridge on put the nut on backwards. So I'm like, you know, I'm thinking I've got this final guitar here and it doesn't intonate. But now it intonates like it's so beautiful.
Is this? I'm looking at the nut now.
Yes.
It looks like it. The reason that it looks that way, you think it looks, that's why I put it in backwards, but it's not.
Okay, so has that been reslotted for the high E?
Yeah.
This
I mean, actually,
Boaz, you know how sometimes if you have a problem on the nut, it can sound like a problem at the bridge because it kind of reflects. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
I'm wondering if that might be what was going on.
If you fret the guitar, that would go away, though, surely.
Good point. Yeah, good point. But it seems like it's even more pronounced now than it was.
Yeah, it's getting worse. Isn't it? It's definitely getting worse.
I'm not sure.
Luckily, we don't hear it when it's amplified.
Yeah. But it does. I mean, but you can tell that it's weakening that string. It's
sure, of course.
Yeah. Maybe when I get back to Nashville, Richie and I'll put it in his workshop, and we can maybe see if we can fix it.
Yeah.
The same thing to do.
But for me, that's the only real complaint. That and the body thing, which you said that other body would solve all that complaint. So Boaz, I think you're there, man.
The other body is it will be the COVID-19. I think
that's the plague guitar. We call it the plague.
The plague guitar, yeah. The plague guitar.
guy here.
So you're saying
Yeah.
the play guitars are coming
This
with this
is-
body?
No, well, they were, but we just made a decision that they're coming with the other.
No,
body,
that you're
so,
going to give it the other body? Yeah.
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 It makes no difference to us really, because they're both coming out of the mold. So
Right.
And Brad, you don't have a problem that it's not shiny, and you can see the marks of the CNC machine.
No,
I kind of
Zero
like it
problem.
myself.
no.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it looks industrial. I think some people would prefer that anyway, just the fact that it has an industrial look to it, you know? Because somebody who's going to play that is not going to be a traditionalist anyway. I mean, really, you're not going for that guy. You're not trying to sell a Telecaster that looks like that to a Tele guy. You really, you know, that's not, I don't think so. I think it's, you know, you're going after a different guy here anyway. So
But my feeling is that you could buy, for the same price, you could buy a Mexican Tele. Should be a great guitar,
yeah,
but you don't have the modular. I mean, any kid who's going to be buying a guitar upwards of $500, why would you not?
oh my
buy
God. And this
one?
is the other thing. I mean, as a retailer, and I don't know if you ever worked in retail. Did you ever work in retail at all? Or
I worked in wholesale, which was meant
Okay,
I worked with
well-
retailers all day long.
well,
so-
retailers, I'm sure you heard this, you know, what the first question is, you know, I play this style of music. What kind of guitar do I need, you know, from a beginner? So it's like, well, you need the Boaz. Okay,
Yeah.
doesn't even matter what style of music you're going to play, because this guitar will do it. So, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, you play what, like country, or you play metal? Okay, you play metal. All right, well, come over here to the Jacksons and the Schecters and, you know, whatever, the Deans, you know, let's look over here on this wall, you know, or, oh, okay, but you like Les Pauls. All right, well, come over here and we'll look at this then. But this, you know, kind of solves all. What was the scale length on this, Boaz? What was your
scale?
Your set scale length?
Wait a second, because it's in inches.
It's in centimeters, so we have to do the conversion.
Oh, okay.
I can never remember. At least I can, but I don't want to say it in case I say it wrong.
I mean, that would be the only thing that I could think of. That, and maybe, I don't know, maybe neck radius or something. If somebody was really into like a really round, old school, you know, vintage style neck radius.
I think this is going to change people's attitudes towards necks.
Yeah.
Because this is the most comfortable neck I've ever played. It's just, everything seems to work really well on it. And I know Boaz has put in a lot of thought into the whole ergonomic feel of how the neck is.
Right.
And everybody, I don't know how you feel. I mean, tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, it feels fine to me.
Yeah.
I get along with a lot of different guitars anyway. You know,
We all do.
Yeah.
We
I
all
have
play
no
different
set.
guitars.
I mean, I can play stuff that's, you know, from the early 20th century that's got the deep V's and the giant, you know, and I'll get along with it somehow. You know, I'll play something on it that makes sense. So I'm not really that picky. Some people might be picky. I don't know, but
So how many centimeters is it?
It's a little bit complicated because it's 63 centimeters, or what we call 20
I got it.
24. What is it? It's 24, 27, 32.
Almost 25. It's
But
25.
But Brad, it's not. This scale is the fret positions, the nut position, and the bridge position is different. So it's not the standard scale. It's modified. Let's put it this way. It's modified on the 63 centimeters.
okay. So you said that converts to
Right, and this has a lot to do.
24.8 inches.
Yeah, this has a lot to do with Boaz frets. This is Boaz fretting system to get the intonation to where it is.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it's not like any other guitar,
So
although it's very much like a Gibson.
what's different from your fretting system, Boaz? What's the difference?
My fretting system, first, the frets are in a slightly different position. Yeah. We all know that you have a problem on the first fret and second fret on G strings. Yeah. Here here I move it. I kind of, it's a kind of compensating to achieve a balance between and between. So the fret position is slightly different than what we know. It's not required. The rule of 18, it's not divided here. It's slightly different. Nut position is different. It's more in. And on the bridge, it's also, intonation is a little bit in to accommodate that bridge system.
Right.
So basically, you can say just about 63 centimeters or 24, 32, 27, 27, 32.
Right.
Of
So
in inches.
another thing that occurs to me, because we're talking about, neck radius and frets, is that if in the future, and I'm not trying to hold you guys to something or nail you down or just complicate things further, but it seems like in the future, if you wanted to change the rate, or somebody wanted a different radius of fretboard, for instance, like if they just like the vintage feel or something of a really like a 7 3/4 radius or whatever, or whatever, that you might be able to do that just with a different mold, right? You would have to develop a different mold just for the one piece, the fretboard, and then everything else would be the same, pretty much.
Exactly. In the future, at this point, it's 12-inch radius, like Gibson. But in the future, it's only the fingerboard can be molded in a different radius.
Right.
And that's will give you the results. The fret position will be the same, just the radius will be different, and that's depend on demand. It's not.
You have that fingerboard. Can you grab that fingerboard real quick? The one that you sat aside that was separated. Can you grab that and show us?
Of course, Boaz is very keen on a fretless fingerboard also.
A fretless, yeah,
because he plays a lot of oud.
Right.
And
the only thing we need to change is this.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But again, it's a $40,000 mold.
Right.
So, we might do it if we see a demand. However, we have a custom shop. I love this profession. So I'm keeping my shop will be a custom shop for anyone that want different. So if someone, for example, want to change the radius custom, I can do it. I can customly make it flat, make it a 9-inch radius, 7 1/4, 14-inch radius, and put metal frets. That's a custom job that we can do it in my workshop.
Yeah. And when Boaz is saying mega, he means like jumbo frets is what most people.
If you want jumbo frets, you want thin frets, you want even mandolin frets, it doesn't matter. We can customize anything, but that of course will cost more than the guitar.
Right.
But if someone really in a need, or then just so you know, it's possible.
So the fretboard extension, the 24 frets, is that coming standard on stuff, or is that just that's an
add-on? Yeah.
No, that's an extra feature.
Okay. Although the backers are all going to get it for free, we won't charge the backers for that.
What were you thinking on? Just let me ask you some questions on like, what are you thinking, and not to nail you down to numbers necessarily or anything like that. So just so you know, I'm not trying to pin you in or hold you to something, but in today's market, like what would you be thinking for a separate, some of these add-ons like the fretboard extension? How much might that cost, something like that cost somebody who wanted to add it later?
Probably around $20 to $25.
Yeah,
something like that.
20 to 25. Yeah, that's reasonable. So what about like an extra empty cassette?
That's the discussion that goes backwards and forwards. And we should explain this to people. I think people will understand. Our business model is that we will also become a module company. We're going to be in the pickup business, because once you buy the guitar, you're going to be wanting more modules for it. So for us to provide them really cheap would cut into that side of the business. However, if you're a backer, which I'm sure most of the people that are watching this are, you will be charged a price that will be like next to nothing. And then you can come up with any kind of modules you want and do anything. But for us to make them available really cheap would just not be a good idea.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not asking you to make them available
So,
cheap.
having said that, I would be saying probably around $30, $40
for an empty module.
For an empty module, yeah.
Yeah, I would almost even say that that's too cheap.
You think so?
Yep.
$70, $80.
I'm not trying to raise the prices on it, but you know, honestly, I think
yeah. And but I we'll definitely have a special price on it for the backers, because you know.
Well, when you hearing your disclaimer there, I was thinking, oh, he's going to say like $300 or $400 for like an empty.
No.
And you said like 30 or 40. Well, I'm like,
the problem is in this world, people are going to look at it and say, well, look, it's just a piece of plastic. You know how much piece of plastic.
Yeah, but that's a proprietary piece of plastic that you have to make another guitar out of this. So it's you know. That's the beauty of it, is you have you get somebody sold on the system, the modular system, and then you can I don't think it's a crime to upsell somebody into more modules and to make money that way. I don't think anyone would begrudge you that.
So what do you think should be our first, now that we've done the basics, what do you think would be our next pickup module?
What, aside from what you have here?
Say, what would you?
A Nashville Tele would be a next, probably.
Oh yeah, that would be easy to do.
Especially since you already have some ties in Nashville anyway and stuff, and you could probably find a good picker to demo it. Even.
That's what I'm going down on Thursday to have a bunch of people play.
Yeah,
a lot of great players coming in to try it out.
Hum single if you could fit it on a module. I think a lot of people go hum singles.
I'm thinking Filtertrons. I'm sort of going along that line, something like that, because most people, a lot of people wish they had a Gretsch guitar, but they can't really afford it because they're so expensive to get a really good one. Yeah. So, but I think we can get a pretty good Gretsch sound out of that.
You could even do
style sound.
You could even do like a Fender, a deluxe Tele Fender style thing too, or a custom Tele. I mean, with the, with the humbucker and I mean, the thing is that you could.
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
But hey, what I think, honestly, I think Boaz, seriously, this is one thing that you should think about. And I have been wanting to develop this, a prototype of this myself anyway. Do you remember those? Well, we might have talked about this at one point. You remember those basses that I think West Tone, which was they were on a rail where the pickup, it was just one pickup that moved back and forth on a rail. So you just basically could just slide it where you wanted it. And I know that you would have to balance it so that you made it something that was ideal for both positions, neck and, I get all of that. But, I've seen those before and it's always intrigued me. And I think for something that's already modular like this, and for somebody who wanted to try something different, to have the rail system where you mount the pickup on the rail and then you're just able to push it wherever you want it would be really cool.
Yeah.
But Brad, people can buy the empty model and try at home to do it. We so much for it to make it like a social thing, and use other people ideas and. You have no idea we're really trying to do good.
I would see an online group where somebody would say, oh my God, I just put the such and such pickup in front of this, on this module and listen to it. Isn't it amazing? And then people could do that themselves, or even we could produce something to fill.
Well, it'd just be cool to have like an instructional thing, like you might even do that, like to kickstart your. Your online forum or whatever for the Boaz forum. That's what you should have that anyway, a forum where people can go outside of Kickstarter. That's, where people can talk about the Boaz one, especially after they get theirs, and they can then start talking about, well, here's what I did with mine. And I did this little modification where I did that or whatever, and they're talking about just, you need a forum.
It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a society of this. Definitely a society of people coming with ideas and trying, and you can't really damaged too much, you can always exchange it, take it out and bring another part in. There's no risk. There's no crazy risk. You may be risking, I don't know, $25, $50, depends which part. But basically, it's the ultimate instrument for experimenting and for people who think different to achieve their the different way of thinking.
Oh, and the thing we were talking about the other day, Boaz, for instance, if you you find a really, you play around with your modules and you find a really great pair of pickups that work really well for your Tele, then you take them out of there and put them on your Telecaster. Right? You don't have to tear your Telecaster apart, put the pickups in and go, oh, it doesn't work for this particular instrument, or for, I don't like the way that sounds. You buy a module, you go through all the permutations you come up with. And,
I love that.
and that's the thing. People are starting to come up with ideas of what they can
of other things you can put in there.
Yeah.
I've already come up with one. You ready?
Yeah.
Something that will come up in a cylinder form. That's kind of it's got a squishy foam that will hold your slide.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Right
Absolutely.
there's your slide.
Yeah.
And then you're ready for slide.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I don't know. It's at least on your guitar, I don't know.
There's a million possibilities.
We talked about that the last time, having a place to hold the slide. I think you said you do it with magnets or something on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Boaz. The thing is, it's just the creativity of it that I really appreciate. It's like my friend who, not to change the subject from the Boaz, but I would like to show. I would like to show him that.
Yeah. Let me get out of the way.
Anyone who is creative as you and trying to do different things, I really appreciate. And there's a fellow. I've been meaning to show you this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well. But this was made by a friend of mine. He has a YouTube channel also called Scar My Guitar. And what's special about this is, I don't know if you could see it here, but the whole body is in two pieces. So this was a solid chunk of wood, and this was a solid chunk. And he put each of these pieces on a router and routed out the hollowness of it. And the bracing that's in there, he left areas that are taller when he routed it. So the braces are routed into the structure.
Into the wood.
Yes. Yeah. So and then at the end he just glued these two pieces together, and that's it. That's what you're looking at. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Different, right?
It's reminding my phone. Look at my phone cover.
Exactly.
It's two halves.
Yes.
Two halves. He make the guitar the same way.
And then just imagine that the braces were left. When he did the routing, he left areas where the braces, and he can actually just reprogram the different bracing patterns if he wants and do that. I told him, we spent a long time discussing this and going back and forth in this prototyping stage. And, I told him, I said, you're going to want to laminate the braces somehow, though. You're going to want to put probably a laminate on top of the braces, just to keep them from splitting, because the grain is still running one direction. So if it wants to split, it's going to want it. The brace isn't going to help that the way you have it. So, we discussed all this stuff, and look at his bridge. His bridge is actually wood, but it's adjustable. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Not so good, but I can. It's adjust. Oh yeah, hold it in. There's my missing light. Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it's like it's like a Fender Stratocaster bridge.
Right. So it's actually adjustable. I mean, but I bring that out as just a comparison because, No,
I can see. I can see it. It's a nice idea, but I will make the back part from hardwood and the top part from softwood.
Why?
And because of what you mentioned, grains cut due to angled, I will glue straight grains braces.
Right.
And if we do those 3 changes, I'm sure this guitar can get far.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you know, I bring that as an example of just the innovative spirit. I don't.
Yes.
I think guitarists they tend to be too traditionalist. You know, we kind of we thumb our noses at things that are different and say that'll never work or whatever. You know, I'm sure, and you guys have run into all of that. But I approve and applaud people who are trying different things. And it's the spirit of inventiveness and entrepreneurship and that you guys have that I really appreciate. I think it's what makes the world go round at the end of the day. You know, if we were all trying to do the same thing or remake something that came out 80 years ago, what fun is that? You know, this is fun. You know, that is fun. And don't get me wrong, my 50s Martin is also fun.
Exactly.
I
in a different way.
to that.
Yeah.
That's the
And
first
put it
thing
in
I saw when I walked in here. Yeah.
Exactly. But Boaz, I don't know how late is it there now? Is it getting late for you?
No, because all my life I work night, but after the campaign, after the Kickstart campaign, I start going to sleep early, which is 1 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I'm a night bird.
Yeah, I've been really bad at that for a long time. I'll stay up until about 4 a.m. A lot of times that's when your best ideas come because the house is quiet. There's no disturbances. Nobody's calling you, you know, for sure. But Boaz, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, I want to know what kind of amplifier you used on this session. It's
one that I built. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a.
Wow.
This is made. The box is is an old record player box. You know the little kitty record players.
You made it.
Yeah. Well, I built the amp in it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's designed after. It's kind of similar to an old Supro from the 50s. I had a Supro from the 50s. I kind of cloned it and then just sort of did a takeoff from that. But the cool thing about this, the cool thing about it is I've got where I could run this cord out the back there, the power cord, and then this would shut all the way, so you could get closed back cabinet sound or open back.
Great.
Boaz, I'm going to say, how can I get that for you? You want that, don't you?
Beautiful.
It's just a one-off. Yeah. It's just yeah. Oh, you want to see something else? Well, here, hang on, I'll show you.
This house is like living in a treasure cave. He just walks away and comes back with some really cool thing. Oh my God.
Okay, this
box. Yeah.
This was a tape. This was a lunch box. That's now a tube amp, and it's the amp was a little tape recorder chassis.
Wow.
But now it's a tube amp. That's a fun.
Hey, why don't you design a tube amp for the Boaz One?
Oh, Boaz.
And wait. And
yeah.
With a plastic box. Brad, with a plastic box.
With a plastic box. I could do it.
Yeah.
I could do it.
We designed the box. We work together. You design the components. You tell us what you need, where you need to put it. And maybe we can come up with something that it's not only good, but also smart.
You would have to have the inside of the box coated in some kind of metal for a Faraday cage for shielding.
No problem.
And then the other thing would be heat from the tubes. We'd have to make sure that the tubes would dissipate the heat safely without warping or melting the plastic. So it's doable.
And then it costs you $100,000 to get it through UL testing.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And they
I'm
probably
top.
they aren't people that like to do new things.
Yeah.
So they would probably just reject it without even paying any very much attention.
Gordon's right on that.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've tried to do that in the past.
Yeah. The electronic stuff, it's, you know, I can build this stuff and sell it locally or sell it here in the US, but when it comes to export, yeah, he's right. It would be
anything mass produced.
anything mass produced. Yeah.
And it's the United Laboratories, which is a wonderful institution because it keeps us all from burning our houses down.
Yeah.
And stuff. But if you have something, if you want to get something and put it into every house in America, and it involves live electricity, it's going to cost you $100,000 to get it to the market.
I don't know if you could hear that. Could you hear him, Boaz?
I could hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we have Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only because I've been there, seen it, tried it, and failed miserably.
Otherwise, the wild ideas would take over and the lunatics would run the asylum.
Brad, before we finish, just let you know and the people know that we are in a very advanced stage of working on a bass guitar, and Tony Granier, Bob Dylan bass player, is like the vision behind it. So I believe that in a very soon future we can build a prototype to see if everything works together, and it might be the next campaign.
I know a really good Nashville bassist. If you guys want somebody to test it out, really good.
Definitely. That's my go-to place.
Yeah.
Whenever I want something tested, because there are so many guitar players down there who've seen and done everything, and they're completely jaded. And you know, if they like something, that it's the real thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I like shooting videos down there, because they all go, "Oh my God, it's plastic. Are you crazy?" And they said, "Just plug it in," and they go, I suppose I'll plug it in. And they plug it in, and they go, "Oh my God, oh my God," and then they start playing, and then they have a completely different attitude. So,
but yeah, that's really cool. So when is it going to look kind of like this, or is it going to be modular at all, or?
Yeah, it's gonna be modular.
Okay.
It's gonna look pretty much similar. You could see that it's the same design, but you would be able to buy a body that you can click the bass and the guitar.
so you have a double neck.
You have a double
Really?
neck.
Think how heavy that's
Yeah.
A double neck. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So what about 12 string?
Yeah.
That will be the next thing after that, I think.
Yeah. 12 string, it doesn't, we only need to design the neck again.
Yeah.
And adjust the bridge.
Most of the modules will work with a 12 string. So, there's really no difference in the string spacing or anything. So the pickups will be the same, which would be great.
Right.
The bass will be 4 string and 5 string. You can switch from 4 string to 5 strings if you wish.
How? Well, what do you mean?
You
Like-
just you change the neck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. But you will not need to change the model will be the same and the body will be the same. But if you want 4 string bass or 5 string bass, you can choose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering on a 12 string, just for giggles, how would you make that work with the bridge? Do you think? Would you have to?
Because you change the complete piece with the bridge.
Well, I mean, would you make the circles
No, the bridge is
thinner?
The bridge is part of the neck. So the 12 strings will be a 12 strings neck from the headstock all the way to the bridge.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that, but I think
Okay.
the bridge itself and the saddles, because
Yes.
you have to intonate Well, I don't think the intonation wouldn't be that big of
The
a.
thing about the 12 string is that it doesn't intonate
Yeah.
between the two strings.
Yeah, really
so,
not. It doesn't. So you would have to, your saddles would just be 2 strings per saddle, but they would have to be wider. The saddles would still have to be a little bit wider.
Sure, it will require some modification, of course, to accommodate the 12. I have other problems to think of. No, that's not the problem. So this is, we have like the tremolo system for 12. That will be a little bit problem. So
no, you don't
there is issues, but it's
No.
possible.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that anyway.
The moment you hit it on 12, just because of the physics of the strings, they will go right out of tune. They'll never come back again.
So it occurs to me also the way that this is setting on the rear here, because the screws are only barely peeking out on this body, that you probably wouldn't be able to have a tremolo system with this body and the kickstand.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Wait a second. Correct.
I was going to ask, would you be able to have it with that other body?
So here's this too. You can choose which strings you want to, if you want to have all 6 of them go, or just 1 or 2. So you have the whole B bender option, except it's B bender over every single string on the
right
thing, which is
interesting.
Silly.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Do you have it with you?
No, I don't.
Mm.
I don't, because we don't have the budget now to develop it.
Sure, he can hear you.
But we will. Oh, I should come a little closer.
I'm just making sure he can hear both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it all comes down to money.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But as soon as we get into production, I think we'll be in good shape. And our intention is to plow. We're not going to get rich. We're just going to plow the money back into the whole concept. The bass, the 12 string, the fretless. You want to come out with an oud version, don't you? And
no.
You told me you did.
Just for personal use.
Just for personal use.
Just like his whiskey operation. It's just now for personal use.
Boaz, and here's the really exciting thing for me. And we're probably giving too many things away at this point, but what the hell? This is what happens when we come to Brad's. Boaz has some remarkably cool ideas about acoustic guitars.
Right.
And using wood and using plastic, which obviously Ovation has done for years, but Boaz has, I think, you were thinking that you could produce an acoustic guitar that has a lot of the same qualities of the guitars that you're producing your masterpiece guitars.
Yeah. Again, I have it in my mind.
Yeah.
But and it takes time to bring your mind into the reality, but I have it in my mind, and I think the acoustic guitar will sound excellent, especially compared to the price it's going to be sold. Yeah. Because my vision, you heard of my Clarita Negra guitar? It's a guitar without the sound hole.
Yes.
The sound hole is on the side.
Uh-huh.
However, it's extremely good sounding guitar. And that's where I'm aiming with the acoustic, the classic acoustic, steel strings acoustic, to have it with a soundboard without a sound hole. The sound hole will be on the side. So the guitar will be plastic. The guitar will be plastic, but the soundboard will be wood.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My only, it's kind of like those Martin, like the X series Martins or whatever, where it's like Formica or whatever it is that they're made out. It's almost like Formica that they're made out of, but the whole thing is made out of it in some of those models. And I think in others, it's just the back and sides is that composite man-made material. But the problem with that is we had one, and this is, that would be my only criticism would be, we had one end that was broken on the sides and it was impossible to fix. You just couldn't, most acoustics, you can do some repair.
Right, but we would be able to, because the backs and sides were made out of plastic.
You would be able to replace the back.
Just replace it.
Yeah, replace it. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the beauty of this. If there's any damage, or even if the frets wear down, if you really, really wear the frets down, and still we haven't decided what the warranty is, but if it's within warranty, we'll just send you another neck.
Yeah.
You know, or you can purchase another neck for less than it costs for a fret job normally. So.
And you can do a fret job. You can take it to a technician and do a fret job.
Yeah, you just level it and
put real frets on.
Right.
You level it and make the slots and put the frets.
Sure.
Yeah, like any other guitar.
Yep. Well, Boaz, is there anything else you wanted to discuss? One thing I did want to say, because you got me to thinking about acoustics. There was an acoustic brand that was very small, and their instruments are very rare now. And they were based in a town where I used to live in southern Indiana, and they were called Nightingale Guitars. And they had these guitars. This was basically all they built. They built guitars that had a second soundboard inside of the guitar. So basically it was,
it's like
you know what I'm saying?
Soundboard.
It had a second soundboard.
It's like a Verzi. You know what a Verzi is in violins, and actually Lloyd Law put them in mandolins as well.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. Eastman is making one at the moment.
Really?
They make a double top. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I know their guitars are really quite spectacular. So
I know that there are some double tops that are actual double tops that are separated by a honeycomb material.
Yeah, that might be what
you've seen those, right, Boaz? The new
that
people are making I think they even make those where there's no bracing, where the only bracing is that honeycomb material that they put in between two soundboards.
Two very thin wood. Yeah, two very thin soundboards.
Right.
It's a very thin soundboard, honeycomb, and another thin soundboard.
Have you ever
like a diaphragm?
Have you thought to expand? I know you've got a lot on your plate with this, but have you thought about experimenting with that technology at all on an acoustic?
No, because I like the sound of the wood. With the honeycomb system, if you use cypress, if you use spruce, cedar, redwood, Engelmann spruce, Sitka spruce, you don't hear the difference. They all sound the same because the wood is very thin and the honeycomb is the same honeycomb on all of them.
So you're when you honeycomb structure more than a single soundboard.
Exactly, and that's why I personally don't like it. What I do on my guitars, I use very thick woods without just very thick, and that's give the guitar the character of the wood, which is I think it's something very important, and it touched the soul. And I have a friend. He's a great guitarist from Russia. His name is Artyom Dervoyed, and he told me all those honeycomb guitars, Boaz, after 1 year, it just sounds like boom, 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 boom. And in the beginning, you enjoy the volume. But after 1 year, you look for something more with a feeling, with sensitivity, with a color, something that improves with time. So it depends what kind of approach you have to the field of acoustic instruments. However, I use very thick soundboards. My soundboard sometimes reach 5 millimeters. It's very thick.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're working through your bracing systems. Voices it, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm voicing. I use materials that it's very old. Sometimes it can reach 50 years old. So I make extra miles to get this natural sound that is very appealing, again, to some people.
Have you seen the inside of one of Boaz's acoustic guitars?
Yes.
It looks like you're looking in down.
Oh, you can see. You can see. Wait a second.
It's like with flying buttresses and so yeah.
Yeah. Do you have one?
I see it over there. Yep. Yeah. I see that fishbone, that classic fishbone look right there. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the Kasha system.
Look how thick is the soundboard.
Yeah, look at that.
It's the dark brown, not the light brown. The light brown is a support.
Yeah,
but
See,
You can see how thick it is.
that's the same thing here, Boaz. I don't know if you can see my. Can you see the screen here, like on this one that this other fellow made?
Yeah.
His
Yeah, I see
soundboard
it.
is
Yeah.
really thick as well.
Uh-huh. But that's a steel string, which is more efficient.
Correct. Yes.
But, yeah.
But you're doing that on a classical.
Yeah, I'm doing it on the classical. Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have
do
to
it
play
on a
one of your
classical.
guitars. I have to play one of your guitars someday. One of your good classicals, Boaz.
Well, I hope you come. You can see here. Here it's a little bit thin, but this is very special wood. This is an albino redwood, if you ever heard of it.
You found that,
Brad, they're claiming that there's only 22 trees in the world.
Really?
22 trees, not 22 acres. 22 trees.
Boaz cut one of them down. No.
No, I did not. No, I did not. And look at this Brazilian rosewood. Check it out.
Yeah. Is that for David's guitar?
That's for David Broza. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Brazilian rosewood?
That's Brazilian rosewood. Very rare. Very rare.
With the white streaks like that? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And check this one. This guitar, we call her Marilyn Monroe because she's blonde. And also the Brazilian in the back is blonde.
Wow.
You see, it's a blonde Brazilian.
Wow.
Yeah. So we call it Marilyn Monroe. And the neck is also Brazilian rosewood.
Yeah. And that's without any varnish or anything on it at all.
Yeah.
No, correct. The neck is not with varnish. It's just natural wood. Yeah.
And are you gonna leave it with natural on the neck?
Yeah, the neck I'm gonna leave with natural because the thumb can slide easier than when it's with a finish.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and since it's very hard wood, it's not gonna go anywhere. Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful.
So and also here you can see I'm working on the fingerboard continue all the way to the headstock.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's one piece.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Just one solid piece, the neck. So
yeah, exactly. It's just one solid piece all the way up.
So you're making your necks on I'm presuming you're doing it the old school way, and you're not reinforcing the necks. You're just making them thick enough so that they are stable on your.
I don't make them thick. No, I don't make them thick. I make them standard 23 millimeters. We can see here. The neck is 22. It's not thick. It's thin. 22 millimeters.
Do you put carbon rods in there?
No. This is natural.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. There's no need. It's a Brazilian rosewood neck, so it's strong enough to begin with. This is not mahogany or Spanish cedar.
And plus,
this is very hard wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't need the support. No, that doesn't need the support. It's strong enough.
So I noticed that your bridges are standard kind of Torres style classical bridges. So that's more. Did you ever experiment with the Kasha shaped bridges, the big horn shaped?
Of course I did. First, this is not my guitar. This is a French luthier, and this guitar came here for a French polish.
I see.
So this is more traditional bridge.
That one is, yes, right.
Yeah, here this is my bridge.
Oh, okay,
and
I see. I do see the
difference. This is a flamenco guitar, by the way. This is going to be a flamenco guitar, so you can see the golpe.
Yes,
the clear golpe.
Yeah.
I also made this beautiful rosette, the butterfly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that wood, that albino redwood, has the snap of the traditional flamenco tops.
Yeah, it's what. Say it again. What did you ask?
That has the flamenco snap. What is it? The type of wood usually used on flamencos. The top wood is usually
they normally use cypress,
yeah.
spruce, yeah. But in this case, no, we're using redwood, and it's wonderful. Yeah, it's gonna sound very flamenquish. Yeah, I love my flamenco guitars. It's my love. So you're gonna hear it soon. I think in a couple of days it's ready, and probably the guy who's gonna get it, he's going to show and bring it. Let people hear it. But this is a flamenco guitar, and it's albino redwood. It's a very rare wood, very rare, very very rare. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it, so it has to be.
All you need to do is go to YouTube and do good, put the name albino redwood, and you will see a documentary on this wood. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate. And the thing is, it sounds so good. I have a personal instrument here that I made myself, for myself. I made it for myself, which is it's incredible how it sounds. And it's also from this albino redwood.
From the same tree?
Yes, you see?
Oh, I've played that one.
Was that the one that you brought to my house that day, Boaz?
No, it's not. This one have 18 strings. 18.
So courses of 3. So you got what, 6 courses of 3?
Exactly. I got three courses of 3. You see?
Wow.
Now you understand why when you asked about the 12 string and the bridge, that it just boggles our mind that the whole process of getting that to work. To Boaz,
and this is
right.
He's working.
You see, this is 1-piece neck carved. It's 1-piece carved.
The headstock is crazy.
Yeah, it's like a double. It's like a snake with 2 heads. However, this is one of my personal guitars. I perform on it. It's very, very nice sounding. Yeah, it's very spacious sounding.
Can you can you put, and I know it's not going to sound great over streaming, but can you put the camera down where we can see you and your typical way of playing for just 1 second on something like that?
I don't understand. You want me to play on that instrument?
Yes. Can you just pick something for a second, like the way you would typically play on that?
No problem, but I hope it's tuned, because you know how it is to tune 18 string.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot with an 18 string guitar.
I don't know if you hear anything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Show me your picking. What are you using for a pick there?
I use it's a turtle shell.
Okay.
It's a turtle shell.
Traditional pick in the Middle East.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you make that out of a tortoise shell? Did you make that?
Yes.
Yeah, when they wash up on the beach in Israel, there are people that actually bring them to Boaz.
Yeah.
When they find it.
Exactly. It's not, of course, there's no community of turtles in Israel. They do washed out when they die. They travel a long way dead, and they end up on the beach. So people call me, and one, it's enough for, thousands, hundreds of pigs.
Right.
Yeah.
How quickly do those wear out?
What? It does not wear out.
And they don't.
Okay.
Hardly.
The thing about tortoiseshell is it's naturally lubricated, although we don't want to make anybody feel they need to run out and find.
Hey, no. I mean,
because
obviously.
most of the time
Well, but the thing is too, like you said,
Yeah.
tortoises do naturally die. So
Yeah.
if you were to happen across a tortoise shell, and I wonder what the American species of tortoises that we have here would.
Pretty much, it's a turtle, really.
Yeah.
It's a sea turtle. That's the consistency.
Oh, that is like a sea turtle.
Do you know what I do?
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
The one that he has is like a.
If I go into antique shops and you can find tortoiseshell items.
They had one for sale. They had a tortoise shell and an estate sale auction the other day. I almost bought it because I was like, man, how many picks could I make out of that?
No, that won't work though. The tortoiseshell.
No, but Brad.
Okay.
You cannot use every turtle. The green turtle is not good. There's only one species that is good, but not all of them. So,
but it has to be a sea turtle. It's a sea turtle species.
Yeah, but not all the species are good. Some are it's too strong and they're breakable. It needs to be the correct amount.
Right.
The one I'm talking about, it's called maguey, and the maguey is excellent for picks. Excellent. They hardly wear. You can play days, and nothing happened to it.
Yeah,
and yet it's soft and flexy. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have in my workshop at home, I have 4 or 5 little boxes that I bought, jewelry boxes that were made 100 years ago, that I can probably make 20 picks out of each one.
Yeah,
and they're great. And even when they're thin, because they're so solid that you get the. I mean, I like the heavy fenders. That's what I use most of the time. But you can get half the thickness of that with the tortoiseshell. And honestly, they are as good.
Boaz, have you ever thought about with something like that has so many strings? Have you ever thought about doing a like a Portuguese guitar comb at the top?
No, because it looks like a fan. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to it. I love the sound of the Portuguese guitar, but the headstock doesn't please me. No.
Yeah.
Although it's a nice way to tune. It's a screw and it's a nice way to tune. But no, I'm not. It doesn't appeal to me. It looks strange.
Right.
I prefer that.
This coming from a guy who makes this. Yeah. I love it. It's like, it looks strange, but this is fine. But that looks like a serpent's tongue. Can you show that one more time, Boaz? Show that one more time.
What?
The headstock. Yeah. Back it up just a hair.
Yeah. It's amazing.
No, turn it back over and kind of angle it away from, because it looks like a serpent's tongue. It does. Guys, I love it.
Yeah, this sounds really nice. The thing is, it's very difficult to play it. I normally play it 10 minutes and I'm tired. This is pushing all those strings. It's really not pleasant. Can you hear it?
Yes. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about the construction on that. Is that a hollow body how is it? What kind of bracing do you have in it?
In here?
Yeah.
Fan braces. 7 fan braces. The one in the center and 3. It's like a Taurus, almost like Taurus, just with my voicing and shaping them.
Yeah.
And they're very thick. And because they need to accommodate 18 metal strings.
That was and you've got a tailpiece, obviously.
I got a tailpiece, but I like it because you can do.
Yeah.
So do you nice ever? I don't know if you can hear it.
Oh yeah, I can. I do that I do that past the nut a lot.
Listen, when you play like harp.
Yeah.
Yes, very special instrument. The thing is now my muscles are tired. It just it's a little bit difficult. So in my concerts, I only play one piece on this guitar, and I play the rest on my others.
Yeah. What kind of end block? How big is the end block in that to sustain all those strings? The end block down underneath the tailpiece. No, not the neck block. Not the neck block. The end block to at the
inside.
Other. Yes, on
inside
the other
here?
end.
No, next to the
there you go.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember, but I guess it's a little bit massive one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't remember. I built it long ago. I guess it's nice and thick and big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
That's what
sure. To hold all the tension here. But it's magical, just like that.
Yeah, you can
It's
see
incredible. You pluck once and you hear 18 string vibrating. It's so, this is amazing. This is really, it's almost meditation for me to play this incredible instrument. Yeah.
I wish we could hear it coming across better on streaming. There's so much compression on streaming for those of you who are watching this you're hearing like every third note and it's all compressed out. But yeah, I can imagine it in person. I bet it's awesome.
Well, Brad, you need to come and visit me. Bring Gordon with you.
Okay.
I promise you won't be able to drive for a week after the first visit.
So do you have any of your whiskey there?
I do, and I really want to end up this thing to get to drink. But you know what? Stay. I'm going to go to my distillery and bring a bottle of whiskey and enjoy a moment with you guys. The closest we can do.
Cheers, my friend.
Yeah, cheers. Oh, great.
See, it's smooth, right?
It's really good.
Probably not as good as Boaz.